Hi there, this is Matt Cox, and I'm a realtor here in Central Phoenix. And I wanted to go over the concept of Arizona's path to industrialization. This is going to be video part two in a part three series. In part one, we talked about how semiconductor juggernauts Intel and Taiwan Semiconductor are expanding more real estate here and expanding more manufacturing here. Two fabs in Chandler, one gigantic fab in Glendale, estimating over $60 billion of manufacturing enterprise value. So it's pretty remarkable stuff. And that being said, that is the key material needed for the future of all microelectronics. The next step is now the future of vehicles. Okay. And lo and behold, we come to find out that electronic vehicles, lots of different companies are looking at Arizona to expand its footprint right here. Okay. So it's astonishing, they're not just manufacturers that are just not building passenger vehicles, but we're talking about even commercial and aerospace as well. Okay, so Arizona is becoming essentially the future of transportation. And we're going to be talking about manufacturing vehicles right here in the desert. Okay, and these companies are all have a massive expansion plan here in Arizona. We're talking about Mesa, Buckeye, and Casa Grande predominantly. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to dive in to which companies are expanding here and what products and vehicles they're going to be making. Okay, and these are all electronic vehicles. So lo and behold, the first one I thought was kind of fun was Virgin Galactic. Now, Virgin Galactic is creating an assembly plant here in Mesa, Arizona, and it is projected that they're going to be able to create and build 6 spaceships a year, which is a lot. I can't remember the type of the program it was, but it's pretty astonishing, and it's going to basically generate hundreds of jobs, especially in high-end, high-ticket engineering jobs. The number two on this list is basically ElectricaMeccanica. Now, you've seen me basically on social media and YouTube basically talk about this because it's a very interesting product. It is essentially, they are creating this car called the Solo. And if you recall, when the smart car first came out, it was a very tiny, compact car, a two-seater, right? And it's especially designed for commute, for low gas consumption. Now, there's another guy in town called Electrica Mechanica, and they're creating this little three-wheeled car called the Solo, and it has a range of estimated 300 miles per charge, and it is a single passenger vehicle, but it is ideal for someone who's just commuting back and forth, which is the majority of us. Most of the time when we are driving into work, a lot of us are not carpooling and we are on our own. And if you're really too worried to drive a motorcycle, this might be the vehicle for you. So when you think about it, they are expanding in, actually, this is incorrect. They are expanding in Mesa, not Glendale. So I'm going to keep that in there just so you know that I'm a regular old human being, nothing crazy. But they are also expanding in Mesa. So the next, I would say, genre of vehicles that we're talking about is one, a passenger vehicle, and number two, the commercial vehicle. Lucid Motors is bought, I think, over 1,000 acres. Okay, from I think it was like 1,400, but I believe 1,400 acres in Casa Grande, and they're going to be expanding down there as well and creating more jobs and more. They need more real estate in order to expand their manufacturing tasks. So it's really great news, especially for Casa Grande and Arizona as a whole. But Lucid is a main competitor of Tesla, so that's who they got their eyes on. The next is Nikola. Now, Nikola is, Tesla, Nikola, Tesla. I thought that was always kind of funny, but Nikola is focusing on rigs and commercial vehicles, basically freight cars, essentially. So when we look at that, they're looking at battery cell technology. All of these sites are going to be battery cell vehicles, but the one thing that Nikola is doing differently is they're actually looking into hydrogen, which, in my opinion, is a completely overlooked energy source. Yes, I think my opinion when it comes to energy is I actually like fossil fuel. Me being a native Arizonan, I have a huge amount of respect for miners and for anything that drills because it is, if you can't grow it, it has to be mined. And I believe when you think about it, the more energy that people have access to, the better. Human quality of life is going to be better, and the standard of living is going to be increased if we all have access to energy, affordable energy, whether it's fossil fuels, nuclear, clean. I think the more energy, the better. If we have more energy, we can solve a lot more problems. And the best part, if we can create jobs too, that's always music to my ears. So Nikola is looking at hydrogen, and from my understanding, one of the other companies that's looking at hydrogen too is Toyota. So it's phenomenal. We have Nikola, who's going to be expanding freight and rigs using hydrogen and battery cell, which is great. And I think it's phenomenal that they're buying more real estate in Buckeye. So you have Mesa, Buckeye, and Casa Grande. Those are the three cities that I'm mainly focusing on with these. But what's interesting though is that you normally think of Detroit as being the hub of manufacturing vehicles, but Arizona is quietly becoming a top contender when it comes to manufacturing vehicles. We're going to be building spaceships, we're going to be building rigs, we're going to be building cars, and we're building state of the art, innovative single cars, electronic cars with 300 charge. It's amazing. Like when you think about not just that we're making vehicles, but all types of vehicles here in Arizona, that is amazing. Now, the article didn't necessarily talk about um, Nikola, Lucid, and Virgin didn't give exact numbers, but for sure it's going to be creating thousands of jobs. Virgin was a couple hundred. ElectricaMeccanica is going to create 500 jobs, and then a few other hundreds from Nikola and Lucid Motors, which would push us over a couple thousand jobs, which is great. Okay, the more jobs, the better. And remember, jobs and employment is the backbone of the housing market, right? So that's how we were able to project whether housing is going to come down or not. And I don't believe housing is going to crash like 2008, especially when we essentially have an arms race with China when it comes to creating electronic vehicles and all kinds of affordable vehicles. We're having an arms race with China when we're creating semiconductors. You see Taiwan investing more in the States, probably for security reasons and intellectual property reasons. So when you look at all this stuff, and they're all choosing Arizona out of all the places in the West, they're picking here, the Southwest, Arizona, the Copper State. Man, this makes me really happy, and I really love seeing this type of innovation being created right here in my home state. So lots of opportunity in real estate, and if you're really worried about the housing market, my thing is I understand your concerns. I understand that the Fed just increased interest rates to cool off the market and has really beaten down, discouraged a lot of buyers. Okay, and just want to let you know that houses as of today, the 14th, I just looked it up. Average days of market still below 90 days. So we technically, okay, when I say technically, I'm talking about just numerical. Technically, we still have a seller's market, but reality is it is a buyer's market because of the emotional index. Buyers are extremely discouraged. But what I'm trying to do is give you fundamental news, right? In one of my other previous YouTube videos, I talked about the three ways that you can analyze an asset for investment: fundamentals, technicals, and the eye test. And right now, I'm giving you 2 out of 3 ways as to why I believe housing market is not going to crash, right? We have the fundamentals. What's the fundamentals? We have employers not creating high ticket jobs here in Arizona, ranging between $75,000 to $150,000 easy. Okay? We're talking, that's the fundamentals, right? The job market is absolutely correlated with the housing market. Okay. That being said, what's the third? The third is the eye test. And I'm looking at the eye test and I'm telling you, out of Taiwan Semiconductor, Intel, Virgin Galactic, ElectricaMeccanica, Nikola, Lucid, LG, and Core Power, a lot of them haven't even broke ground yet. Okay, so the jobs aren't even here yet, but they are coming. They're on the way. These enormous corporations are investing billions of dollars in this state and in this city. So keep an eye out, keep your chin up, and I hope that I can help you stay encouraged during these very unusual and uncertain times. So, that being said, thanks a lot for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to be creating some more content. And remember, part 3 is on the way.